Why does it have to be so hard? Right? Like, why? You know, you start out and you're getting along and everybody's so happy. Relationships, friendships, family, lovers, you know, it's just even work relationships. You start out, you form a relationship and there you are and you're working together and you're building a life together and you're there with your kids. You're goofing around or you're, cleaning up the lawn. Doesn't matter. You're doing things. How does it go from there to the really painful situations that we encounter? The really painful situations. So I'm going to present this perspective from mindful communication, from the teachings of Susan Gillis Chapman. And the idea is that naturally we're open. And naturally, as human beings, just by being born, we have the ability to connect. We connect with each other. I'm seeing you. I'm hearing you. I'm feeling you with my emotions. I'm thinking through what's going on. And you're doing the same thing in real time. And that's what relationship is. It's just a natural expression of the fact that we are built to connect with each other. And, this is fabulous good news. This is actually really, really good news. The idea that it's not something really, really complicated that you have to get a PhD to figure out. You don't have to spend 10 years in therapy to figure out how to relate with each other. You just do what's natural. But as we all know, that doesn't always continue like that. Now, why doesn't it? There you are, you're at the dinner table. And you say, what you think is an ordinary thing. And the other person doesn't interpret it that way. For whatever reason, it doesn't hit them the same way that it's hitting you. They have a different perspective. What you feel excited about or what you think is funny or what you think is a good plan, they don't agree. And there's that moment of disconnect. Now, this is natural too. We're going to have moments of disconnect. We have to, because we're human beings. And so there will be different interpretations. Of course, absolutely. And there's no problem there. But there's a pain. There's an actual feeling of pain in that moment that's natural. Natural pain. It's how we know that we're out of alignment. You know what I mean? Like when your spine gets out of alignment, because it's painful. If you've ever had that happen. And you go to the chiropractor and they put you back into alignment. You go, it feels so much better. It's the same with our conversations. And so, a misalignment is not a big deal. You have to figure out how to do that, and you get the feedback of the feeling, the pain, to know that there's something there to work on. But what happens, the real problem that happens is actually something else. And that's that pain itself causes me to contract into a kind of unnatural posture. I'm not sure I'm willing to engage. I'm not sure I'm willing to engage with the pain of what just happened. In part because I lack confidence in myself, actually. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe something's wrong with me. So I don't want to engage and find out what just happened. Maybe I turn against myself and attack myself, and that starts to contract me. Well, then the other person starts to respond to that. It's halfway about what you're talking about, but it's halfway about this. It's painful even to watch somebody turn against themselves. So maybe they go into a frantic mode, of trying to prop you up. Or maybe they go into a frantic mode about trying to fix all your problems. Maybe they go into a frantic mode of blaming you, or of, trying to convince you that they know best, or whatever, all the things that we do as human beings. And they essentially, what they're doing is they're contracting too. And then that makes me contract more, and they contract more, and everybody gets smaller and smaller and more constricted until you look like one of those mummies in the Egyptian tombs, right? I joke, but I mean, it's actually an incredibly painful process. It's incredibly painful. And it's not how we're built. How we're built is like to be able to be open. And like a baby is, actually, like infants, the way infants are. That's the way we're built. We were born that way. So this is not our nature. But it is real, and we need to deal with it because it's happening. We can't just ignore that. And the question is, how do we unfold ourselves? How do we open up? And that's a process, and that process begins right here. It doesn't begin with the other person. It can't, actually. If I'm like this, I don't even know what the other person's doing. I'm kind of out of it. I'm halfway out of it. So I have to begin here. I have to plug myself back in. I have to find my own natural posture. I have to do chiropractics on myself first, or get help to get things back into alignment here. Once I do that, then I can reach out. Then I can start to say, hey, what happened there? Like, we need to talk. Step 1, step 2. Step 1 is here. Step 2 is out there. Always begin with step 1. Always begin with step 1. And then we have a chance with step 2. If we don't begin here, we don't have a chance out there. That's my message for you today. All right, take good care.